Hello, beautiful people. It's Cinderella. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're back again with another video, and this is from the Art of Dialogue channel. This is about Angie Stone and Diddy. We're gonna check this together, and I'll love your thoughts and your contribution at the end of the video. Let's dive right in.
How you feel about Angie Stone passing away?
Man, it's crazy when somebody can tell you that, and she told a lot of people, that people are trying to kill her. She made those statements 2 weeks before she died. Angie Stone said to people around her, she was in fear of her life. And that happened because she found out that she had a lot of money in this publishing and this music game that she had not been able to recoup. So she was doing an audit to recoup the money in which these music record companies owed her throughout the years for songs she had written. And then she comes up dead, and they try to say that she was hit by an 18-wheeler. They said she flew out the window, and it comes that we find out because one of the guys on the internet paperwork, Countdown John, went to the funeral with a hidden camera and saw her whole body. And it didn't seem like she was hit by a diesel. Said she looked beautiful in her casting. He showed that on the internet, bro. So Angie Stone, she said that somebody was trying to kill her. Somebody was trying to murder her. She was in fear of her life. And 2 weeks later, she come up dead, bro. You don't find that strange?
Thank you, Jane. Thank you, sir. For lots of people who don't find it strange, I have no words. It is so strange. It is messed up. And that is just what I want to hear. Because listen, she knew this is somebody who has been in this industry for years, for decades, and you think the person is not going to know how these people operate? Listen, if you've been with somebody for, you would know your family members, right? And if you've been close to people who you call your friends, you would know how they operate. You would know them. That's why when some people say, oh, they really do not know some people, is because sometimes some people may have just been pretending to you all this while. And maybe your intuition, you're not paying attention to your intuition and self-awareness, right? But she freaking knew these people and knew how they operate. How do you think she just get off to sit and make that live and start talking about the spiritual attack and all that? She knew these people. She's been in the game for years. She knows how they operate. That's why she's got the guts or had the mind to call them out and be like, well, let her just put it out there. I'm just saying, allegedly, but let her just put it out there. But obviously, everything about the accident, her demise, it is suspicious. And that is just how it is.
An accident that 9 to 10 people was in a car with her, in a van with her, and she the only one comes up dead? My thoughts about that is, if you think the record company owe you some money, if you think you're trying to recoup some money from the record industry, you better think twice, and unless you got some real protection or some real people behind you, because it's crazy.
So you personally, you feel like it was foul play?
Nope, nobody gonna, bruh. I think it's foul play behind the Angie Stone stuff, bruh. Because why would she be in fear of her life? Why would she start cleaning up and start saying that she feel like she's gonna be unalive, that somebody's gonna do something to her? Why would she prepare for her death? And then she come up dead. Strange, bruh. And that's what happens in the music industry. These people have not, they may not seem real big, but they done wrote music for the greats. She wrote music for the greats. You understand? She wrote music for musicals. She wrote music for movies. And she never got paid her money. And then when they get these investigators to go and investigate these publishing investigators, and they go and investigate everything that was bought, sold, or stole, and they come back with all these millions of dollars that these big record companies got. They take them to law. They take them to court. Somebody got to pay this.
Mm-hmm.
They say you ain't got to pay no dead artists.
Damn, man. R.I.P. to her, man. Unfortunate. But to
Yeah.
get back to this lawsuit, how you feel about Kirk Burrell saying that, Diddy destroyed his career?
He did.
Okay, before we get to Diddy own, because Diddy is going to be quite interesting. What he said, it is the truth. And I think that was the exact same thing I said. It was behind the scenes though, when I was talking with a friend. First of all, I said she made a huge mistake trying to call them out, but she, in some way, she did, because she knew that. Listen, you have to watch the patterns. Every other artist who's called at their record label, did they ever live to tell the story? How many of them ever get to live to tell the story? What he said. See, anybody who thinks that in Hollywood itself, it is just mere operation, and just don't realize that the things they do in that industry, you will never look at those people ever again with the same eye. Eh? If that's why they don't want you to get to know who they are. And really, it's just sad, it's just dark. And this woman gave her all. RIP to Angie son. She gave her all, devoted her passion, everything to the goddamn industry. And they had to do her dirty about it. That's why, see, live your life to the fullest. Get it? And this, this, how long have they been doing this and they've got away with? You need more celebrities' names? Whitney Houston's passing, is it shocking? Is it shocking? Or Marvin Gaye? Or Michael Jackson? Elvis Presley? Luther Vandross? You still need some names? Prince. And the list goes on. How many of them is shocking or surprising? I think there was even one, if I checked the video, and there was somebody who said something about a particular um record label or something, and the artist calling out the record label, and on his way back from the concert, and that was even in a different country, from a concert from the country back to America, he did not survive it. He did not. The game. And listen, you wonder why some of them live long or they stay, because see, in Hollywood it's just dark, and I really honestly feel sad and sorry. And the thought or the fact that this woman gave her all and they decided to do this or dirty is insane. Out of 9 people in a van, only one person ended up dead, and nobody found it suspicious or thought it was just some mere accident. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Anyways, let's continue.
He did. Diddy destroyed his reputation.
Damn, man. R.I.P. to her, man. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But to get back to this lawsuit, how you feel about Kirk Burrell saying that, Diddy destroyed his career?
He did. He did. Diddy destroyed his reputation. Kirk is right about that. I was there on those occasions. When Kirk was dealing with Mary, brought Mary's career back. Kirk was a musical genius, whereas that, a marketing genius. He knew how to get the money. He knew the people who to go at for the money, and he did what he had to do to bring Mary back. Diddy planted bad seeds, was telling people don't do business with him. So he's right about that, brother. And after he got Mary from him, Kirk never worked no place else. So he's not lying about that. He's diabolical when it comes to that. He did it to Mary J. Blige. He did it to the band members. I mean, he did it to Wendy Williams. He did it to Wendy Williams. He's diabolical when it comes to shit like that, bro. He owned the music business in New York City and California. He had friends everywhere, bro. He had friends in high places. He owned the radio stations. You ain't see that Tupac interview from Mary J. from
Angie Martinez.
what's her name? Angie Martinez, because of Diddy. That's probably one of the greatest. That's probably one of the greatest of all times, probably interviews ever. He stopped that from coming out. He got Wendy Williams fired. Anybody he told in the music business not to mess with somebody, they didn't. Tracy Waples don't even know this. Tracy Waples is probably one of the top musical geniuses in the industry that nobody knows. She was behind Rihanna. She was behind Method Man. Tracy Waples is a musical genius. I sat there when she was supposed to do a deal with L.A. Reid and them. And L.A. Reid told Diddy, she asked him for like 300 to 400,000, something like that. He said, man, you can get that bitch cheaper than that. Offer her 250. I just started laughing. And Tracy was his friend. So to see him do that and say he did that to Kirk Burroughs, and Kirk Burroughs had that in his lawsuit, he ain't lying about that, bro. Nobody was going to deal with Kirk Burroughs or give him a job or do anything. Look at all the great things he did for Bad Boy, getting the money and everything. Why he ain't working someplace else? Leote left Bad Boy and went to Def Jam and started working with Rough Riders. He ain't put no bad word on her. So Kirk ain't wrong about that one, bro. Not at all.
Yeah, he also alleged in his lawsuit that, in late 95, Diddy held him down to a bed in the simulated intercourse until he ejaculated.
Bro, we still on this. That's just crazy. It's asinine. It's to the point where is that this nigga showing the monster side of Diddy that he should have been came out with this long time ago. Kirk got all this information that he had. You understand? 5-6 years ago when I came out with this shit and saying the shit that Puff was doing, he didn't say a motherfucking word. He stayed mute. He stayed quiet. Now that other people came out and he's in a vulnerable situation, he hoping people that's going to come out here and feel a certain way for him because that shit happened to him. Okay, he did all this shit to you. When did you go and try to get help? He pinned you to the bed. He made you ejaculate on yourself and this like that. When did you go get help, Kurt? When did you ask somebody to help you? You didn't ask nobody to help you because at the time, y'all was lovers. And maybe, just maybe, you enjoyed y'all's situation.
Oh my goodness. Things, when you hear some things that happens in Hollywood, the fact that people just want to think and give Diddy the grace is what is not making sense to me. See, you all would say, oh, give him the grace of free Diddy until it happens or whatever shenanigan or craziness happens to somebody close to you. Then you realize that it is not about giving grace. Are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? And truly, in the Hollywood industry, they pawn them, they put them as pawns, and it is most likely like a common routine for them. But the age stuff or the gebu stuff that they do, it is commonized. That is what we even see even in the movie. It's sick. And I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. You would not want to know what your favorite celebrity does in the industry or else you're not gonna ever look them the exact same way, or you're never gonna say they're your favorite or your role model. You would never. It's insane. But anyways, that is the lifestyle. That is how they know. Some people already know this, and some people are fine with it, and some people are like, well, they're getting the bag, so they really do not care. They give themselves some timeline and say, oh, they want to get the bag for however long. But remember, you're selling your soul, and they, as long as you keep selling your soul, it continuously to get rotten. It gets rotten, and you can't save it. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below regarding this. I would love you to share that in the comments below, what you think about this or what you just heard. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.